My name is Hjalmer Olson. Most people call me Ophi. I'm born and raised in Dillingham. I'm going to vote yes on this annexation and the assessment on April 10th, and I encourage everybody else to do so that votes in Dillingham. I'm born and raised here in Dillingham, or Kanakanak, and lived here most all my life. I lived 6 years up in Kaliganik, but I've been virtually here fishing all my life. Well, virtually ever since I could walk. I worked with my parents in the set net, and then started fishing in a boat in the mid-50s. Well, I don't think it's asking too much. You go to Yugashik, which is a southern district in Bristol Bay, they pay 5% there. I think it's either 2% to the city or 3% to the borough. Iggy's got a, I don't know how much it is in Iggy, it's probably 3%. The Bristol Bay Borough over there is 3%. Togiak is, I think, 3%. So Dillingham is not asking too much at 2.5%. The Bristol Bay Borough is probably the oldest municipality that's collected raw fish tax. And I see a lot of good things happening over there. Several years ago, they built a swimming pool. They upgraded the school. It's just a lot of good things happen when they and they're in the same situation as Dillingham. The majority of the fishermen that come there are non-residents. Mm-hmm. So I think Dillingham should assess that 2.5%. Like I said, is not asking too much. Well, I remember when Dillingham had outhouses and and you had to carry water. You know, and I've seen they put in the water and sewer down Dillingham, and that was good. And then, of course, us out the road here, we got our own, but still, a city always need infrastructure or need money to support the services we have. You see that all over. You see that in Anchorage. You know, take a look at Anchorage this year. They've blown their budget on snow removal alone by several $1 million. And they're talking about increasing the property taxes over there. And I don't think people want to see that, but where are they going to raise the money? You know, we're in the same situation with Dillingham or our local boroughs in the region here. They're always needing money to support the services they give, especially the school, is probably the number one priority. Well, it's a whole host of services that they offer. You know, we didn't vote to become a hub. You know, naturally, the large airport here, the harbor, the the fishing industry, and people just moved here because we got good schools. We got a hospital down there. The hospital 5 miles out of the city, which been there for close to 100 years now, and it's Dillingham is a mail hub. All the mail and freight come here, and then it's flown out to villages, Togiak, Kaliganek, Nustu, all over. So it is the main hub in Bristol Bay. Well, we'd probably shrink. People wouldn't probably want to live here because there wouldn't be no jobs. Without those services, we wouldn't have the people working here. Probably school enrollment would go down. You know, we'd gradually be hurting in the long term. Well, I think you mentioned a hub earlier. You know, we got all the services in the boat harbor too. We got people can work on their boats there. It's convenient. It's a short walk to town. If you don't have a vehicle, you can get your boat welded or fiberglassed or engine work or just about any service you want down there. So it's great. You mentioned some of the capital improvements we need here, such as the roof on the library. I went to the library several times last summer, and I see quite a few of the non-resident fishermen using the library. You know, they use the internet there. There's free services, besides checking out a book, I guess, to read. But and the library's open, what is it, 7 days a week, I think?
6 days, I believe.
Yeah.
Closed on Sundays.
No, in the long, we need this money to support the services here. There's talk about increasing boat harbor fees, but nobody wants that, you know. And another thing too is increase the property tax. Nobody wants that. So if we have a chance now to get 75% of our of this assessment paid for by non-residents, I think we should go for it. And I encourage the voters of Dillingham to think about it and support it.